that I'm going to do, but I'm going to save it for this week in track. I'm really disappointed in the wind this year. It's just been like confusing all of us, and I don't like it. I want the wind to stop at these track meets or at least stay at 2.0. I don't know what to do with all these times. You got 10, 10, 6, 10, 7, like plus 3.2, plus 4.1, plus 2.5. I don't like it. Here's what I know. Brittany Brown won the bronze medal in the 200 in Doha. Brittany Brown in this race, you can use the converters and whatever 10-8. But finishing ahead of Gabby Thomas is a good result because we've seen how good Gabby Thomas has been in the 1 and the 2 this year. And if you think about Brown going under, she went under 11 for the first time this year, but that's a huge jump up for her. So whether or not she's going to do the 100, whether or not she's going to do the 200, this is all good news. You put the time aside. This is good news to get in that field and win that race.
I would say I think I already mentioned this about Brittany Brown, but this performance is like night and day better than her bronze performance at Worlds in the 200 because that World 200 in Doha was not
Yeah,
a good field. Like it was a weak
everybody was
field.
scratching.
Everyone was out.
Lots of
So
scratches. Yeah.
this is probably, and I would say this is her best. I mean, look at this descending order list now. All time, it's seventh when you can include wind aided marks. That's kind of crazy. Now 3.2 is the most wind of that group, but like when Tori Bowie was on top of the world in 2015, she was running 10.7 with 3.2 wind. So it definitely is setting up for her to be a legit player at the world level in this 100. And with Sha'Carri Richardson kind of being nowhere to be seen right now, you have to think maybe this is Brittany Brown's time to take over this 100 and maybe, just maybe, be a fighting chance against the big three of Jamaica. Because right now, the U.S. women do not have any bullets in the chamber to go up against the Jamaican big three. And maybe Brittany Brown is the wild card that is coming in late in the game to kind of potentially break those three Jamaicans up.
But if you look at the all conditions US 100 descending order list this year for the US, I made a mention of the fact that the wind is all over the place, but they got a lot of options. And I know it's going to be tough to finish ahead of Thompson, Herah, and Fraser Price, but look at all the candidates because you also had Cambria Sturgis this weekend run legal 10.8, right? And we saw what she did at NCAAs last year. You had Aaliyah Hobbs this weekend run a windy 10.84. Like, if you look at just this year, and if you look at the women's 100 list, we feel really good, obviously, about Tiana Daniels because what does she do, Gordon?
She makes teams.
Right. The other two, I don't know. There's a lot of question marks, but there's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of ability in both the 100 and the 200 to have somebody break through. Yeah, let's blow this up so I can see it. Brown 10.66, Richardson. Oh wait, this is last. Wait, was this last year? What are we looking at?
Well, this is past 2 years.
Past 2 years. Sorry. So Brown, Richardson, Sturgis, that's a legal 10.74. Terry 10.77, windy this year. Hobbs 10.80. Thomas 10.80. Tamara Clark, we didn't even mention her, 10.81. Solera Barnes 10.82, windy. I mean, it just goes on and on and on with the amount of people who have run fast. Now, a lot of those are windy, so you take those out, you take them with a grain of salt. But I think somebody is going to emerge by the time we get to USA's. It's going to take something quick to win that race. I think the gap might have shrunk a bit between last year and this year because I think it had to. It was pretty big last year. It could not have gotten any bigger because there's a limit to how fast Thompson, Herah, and Fraser Price are going to run, I would assume. I could be wrong this year. Maybe they go 10-4. But there was a pretty wide gap. The U.S. was not a factor in the 100 last year. The 200, they were. The 100, they weren't. And I think that's going to shrink again this year. Yo-yoed back and forth.
Well, the thing I think about, again, this isn't to disrespect Brittany Brown, because, again, she's running. But if Elaine Thompson-Herah was in that exact race, what is she running in Waco, Texas right now?
Mm-hmm.
If in a race where Brittany Brown is running 10.66 with 3.2 wind, what would Elaine Thompson-Herah have run in that race?
Well, but I don't know, because you could have said the same thing about, well, what could Gabby Thomas have run if she was in that race? Because we would have had Thomas ahead of Brown just based on last year.
Well, but Gabby Thomas is a 200. Gabby Thomas is a 200. So
100 was pretty good last year. Look, 100 was pretty good last year. Not as
I
good as the
just
2,
know,
but 100 is
like,
pretty good.
would I'm trying to get would Elaine Thompson-Herah run like 10.5 in that race?
Probably. Yeah, that's fair.
Was she
That's
a
fair to
flirter with
assume.
10.4?
That's fair. I don't know. Gotta go to
I
Waco
don't
to
know.
find out.
Gotta go Waco to
Alright,
find out.
let's keep rolling.